Hey, I am toliveanddie. This is Agent Fatality and Austin joining me. First map is Abyssal City, game number 1.
Yeah, this should be a pretty neat TVZ. We'll have to see what exactly Elitelegend decides to settle on. He's told me before that he enjoys actually playing bio as opposed to mech, but it really depends on how you're able to micro your Marauders against Banelings. You need to make sure that they're absorbing most of the hits. So we'll have to see if he decides to take that risk and go for pure bio, or if he opts for more of a mech-based style.
Yeah, I really like Abyssal City for mech play. I mean, I always say this over and over again, but tanks are so good on this map, just because of those two high ground platforms. But no one really listens to me.
We'll have to see if your hypothesis is proven right here in this matchup. I don't know exactly how HDW played earlier in this tournament or in past tournaments. I heard from you guys that he's a scary Zerg, so I guess I'll have to see the horrors he's capable of.
Alright, so let's introduce these players.
Yep.
On the left side of Abyssal City, the pink Zerg, his name is HTW.
And towards the bottom right location, our green Terran player, Elitelegend, he just steamrolled a Protoss player 2-0 to enter this semifinal, playing macro game number 1, and then deciding to cheese an all-in in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good reaction by Elitelegend. He scouted it, and then just reacted the way he knows best. Just very, very heavy pressure. And to the point where Midas had to GG out of it. So what would you expect on this map? In the ZVT?
Most of the games I've casted from some pro tournaments, their map pool is not really inclusive of Abyssal City. I have yet to watch a GSL season. I watched the finals maybe a couple weeks ago between Hyun and Sniper, but if you could let me know just the different antics that some players like to get up to on this map, that'd be interesting, because I'm rather inexperienced when it comes to Abyssal City.
Okay.
I've heard the name, but...
Well, actually, Abyssal City, I've seen it's more Zerg favored. Just how many pathways there are. There's the high ground pathways. There's the low ground paths. There's the center with the destructible rocks. So a lot of different attack paths. It's a small rush distance, so it's not particularly too hard to put on pressure.
Yeah, and it seems like the expansions seem to be fairly defendable, except for that kind of open third base towards the middle of the map. That seems like that could be a pretty critical point for attacking and defending in the late game. But around the edges,
a lot of people,
multiple expansions.
A lot of people do take the corner thirds. The corner thirds seem to be easy. Protoss can wall off.
Patches too, it seems.
Yeah, because the center middle one's just one geyser and a couple of mineral patches.
Yeah.
And then people would like to expand outward, like towards the outside of the map. But then taking that fourth is just so hard, because you have the high ground ramp right there. There's a path to the side as well. So it's really, I'd be really interested to see how both players do this. Abyssal City is also underwater, which is cool. Game dynamics.
Right. The way you look at this map is, imagine you're just looking through, like, I don't know, looking down at the bottom of the ocean, because there's fish floating around, there's sharks floating around, there's machinery working, everything. And if you can just keep an eye on it, whenever a Terran unit is destroyed, or whatever unit is destroyed, watch for shrapnel flying northbound or upward, like it's floating.
That's pretty neat.
Oh,
looks like Elitelegend going for a bunker at his opponent's natural. He'll have to see whether or not HDW can use those Zerglings that he's about to have hatch to full capacity.
Oh yeah, this bunker's gonna go down that SCV.
Yeah, he gets the SCV
and did not last, and they have to cancel it. Well, quick little pressure. I mean, HDW.
Yeah, just
HDW actually responded really well.
He just kind of casually blew that off as if it was nothing, as if he gets that every day. Just kind of, that's cute. I'll see you around.
I think the best part of that was he only made 2 lings. He used 1 larva, 50 minerals, just to stop a bunker, 2 marines, and an SCV. So anything that, like, that sort of pressure from the Terran kind of forces you to make lings when you don't want to. And at that point, HCW just did so well. He made the exact number of lings that he needed to, attacked it well, stopped it, and he's back to droning up so hard.
Even now, like I said, he's making 8 drones at a time at this point, which is critical. He realizes that Elite Legend wanted to try to deceive him into thinking he's playing a full-out aggressive style, but on the contrary, he's back at home. He's got his second orbital on the way. He's going for a fast 3cc kind of build, so exactly how HTW should be playing in response to this.
Yep, and yeah, that's what the metagame became. Once
he sees it too with his Overlord. He's seen the 3rd CC building, so he knows exactly what Elite Legend's up to.
Yeah,
so he can just drone as much as he'd like.
That's what happened in the metagame once the Queen buff happened. A lot of Terrans responded to this 4 Queen, 6 Queen opening just with more and more command centers, and it seemed to work out a lot for them. I hope to see the same from Elite Legend.
Austin, did I ask you what race you play?
I main Protoss. I've played Zerg in the past. I have a reasonably solid knowledge of the 3 of them, but yeah, definitely Protoss is where my strengths lie. So
okay.
This match, of course, not including that race by complete chance.
All right, Asian Vitality here plays Zerg, and I played Terran, so we're all covered here.
That's a great trio.
Sick.
HTW has actually responded to this perfectly, grabbing 2 Evo chambers at his natural. So he's responded to this completely on cue, but we do have a Banshee with Cloak on the way, and it doesn't appear to me as though he has the kind of infrastructure to deal with that. He has the Evo, so he can pop down a couple spores, but in terms of mobility, Elite Legend might be able to catch him out of position and maybe where spores aren't able to reach.
Yeah, I think the scary part of this is he's got Hellions, Marines. Looks like he's getting his armories down, so he's going to go into mech. Yeah,
mech for sure. He hasn't built too many racks. He's probably just going to switch up a factory with that starport once he's done with his Banshee Ras and pump out some Thors or maybe just siege tech right away.
The patch that came out, they're not separate anymore, right? The what was the?
Oh, that's in Heart in the Swarm.
Oh, the Heart of the Swarm that they're not separate anymore.
There was one patch that did nerf the Infestor fungal range, I think from 10 to 9 or something.
It went from 9 to 8.
9 to 8.
9 to 8. That's what it was. I know it decreased by 1. I don't know exactly what.
Oh, here we go. Pressure on the 3rd.
3 Spore Crawlers on the way and a Banewing Nest. So HTW going to be okay against the Banshees for the most part. Maybe not the Hellions.
He can handle this micro of Elite Legend. Lings are going to do the surround. They do have speed, so nice surround on the Hellions.
Beautiful surround.
But there's
still some left though.
He's going to clean it up fine. Absolutely fine. And Elite Legend.
Very well done from HTW. I think any lesser player would have completely crumbled under this sort of pressure, but he seemed to stand up to it confidently, and he's playing very well.
I think any lesser player would have overreacted with that, and
yeah, might have just overcommitted to units and
not made like 50 Zerglings out of.
Instead, HTW is going to say, if you can dish it, you've got to be able to take it because I'm building a Spire right now. So that's not only does that set him up for a late game transition to Brood Wars because he's on Wear Tech, it also allows him to immediately harass with Mutas, and I don't think Elite Legend's going to have Thors quite yet, as he's still pumping out Banshees from his start work onto that tech lab.
Yeah, before like Terran gets to that Thor scary part of mech, this is definitely a great time to exploit the fact that most of their units don't shoot up. I mean,
interestingly enough, Elite Legend taking the more lucrative positioning for his 3rd base as opposed to the cordoned off one that.
And to be honest, I actually like that. I actually like that a lot, especially since he's meching. He can hold that front as pretty well, whereas
it's not very mobile, you're right, so he can have some maybe siege tanks even in his main covering it and not have to worry about traversing the different attack paths between his
and what he doesn't know, but he's actually in the right for, he doesn't have very mobile units, as you say, and HCW is going for mutas.
He's seen the Spire, Elite Legend. I just checked his vision, he knows it's there. So he has he built a couple Vikings and he has
4 Thors on the way.
I think this is definitely a very exciting semifinal. 2 great players duking it out. They seem to have their styles seem to clash quite a lot, and it'll really come down to micro, in my opinion. HGW needs the magic box and make sure that these mutas don't engage Thors for very long, because mutas against Thors is not a good time for the Zerg player.
I think the one question I have for Elite Legend is that yes, he took the closer, easily defended 3rd, but it's only one gas, and if you're going mech,
Yeah.
you need that much gas
Does need that gas
to
for sure.
operate. So, HCW, let's see, he's got 16 mutas out.
Well, there's a Thor and a missile turret, so nice response there from Elitelegend. Very well.
Magic box is that Thor. Thor number 2 is here.
Yeah.
Pun intended, yes. And
So, well done there from Elitelegend. He was ready, but as you said about the third being open, HTW, that can play out to his benefit because he's getting Baneling speed, and he might be able to just run some Banelings in from the side and get a good detonation off before any of Elitegend's mech can really deal with it, because he doesn't have that many. I don't even think he has any siege tanks on the field, no siege tag. He's just going Thor, Hellion, so no sign of a Baneling counter.
hasn't even gotten wow.
He does now have 2 tanks, and he's getting his 4th, but
Yeah.
right now, HDW might be able to inflict some punishment with those Banelings.
Yeah, a lot of people would think mech, so you have to go roaches, so you can take that damage, but no, you just need a really good engagement as Zerg to get.
Some mutas getting taken down by a Thor right outside the main near the 3rd.
Yeah, it is really
HCW
scary.
is getting some roaches to be able to deal with those Thors, but smartly enough from Elitelegend, he's getting tanks, so he's already, I'm countering your counter to my units. He's thinking ahead, and Infestation Pit was put down quite a while ago from HDW. I don't think he's made anything involving that kind of tech. Maybe he's just anticipating jumping up to Hive.
HCW grabbing his 4th now.
Yep. Elitelegend doing the same. He's going down to the bottom here on the same kind of highway as 2 of HDW's bases, and the Overlord sees this, so that
Yeah,
could be
that command center just flies over the Overlord. He's just like, damn.
Yeah.
Well,
How does that work? Are there 2 different highways that the buildings fly or something? That the
It's underwater. Anything can happen.
it really is. Oh, Elitelegend looks like he's gonna push, but these tanks are unsieged. These units are clumped up, so Banelings are gonna hit so
Very
hard.
nicely done from HTW. He's just rolling through this. The Thors are going to die out very, very quickly to these roaches. And
Well, these roaches are on 0-1. They don't have missile
yeah,
attacks.
that is true.
They'll die.
They're fading
but-
out, but the damage is done. I think he was able to take a good amount of units off of it.
No,
He got
I
him out of position. Maybe he should have pulled out with those roaches against that number of Thors, but initially he caught those tanks off guard beautifully.
Yeah.
They didn't even have
just
siege tag
finishing.
initially. Just finished.
Siege just finishes, yeah.
3 more
And-
CCs on the way from Elitelegend, and he's playing like MVP. He gets a million planetary all throughout the map, getting orbitals everywhere. He's in it for the long haul for sure. He's getting his vehicle weapons level 3 at this point.
Greater Spire
Greater
just
Spire, yeah.
Oh, he's going to run by into the 4th.
and that 4th will go down. No
Yeah.
SPs are anywhere near it. You gotta
They're doing
cancel
a
that
little
planet.
tribal
Nope.
dance around the 4th. Some were attacking, the others were just kind of cheating.
And Elitelegend, he's just gonna take this to counter. And what does he have to deal with all these lings? He's got a tank, or a couple tanks, and Hellions. Nicely spread out actually, but just putting a little bit of pressure on HCW just to force him back.
HCW getting the pathogen glands, so he's within reach of the ever-feared Broodlord Infestor composition, so even if Elitelegend grabs Vikings, then the Infestors can fungal them if they're bunched up. So I think Elitelegend definitely should be looking to end this in the next 5-10 minutes for a preview.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Major disappointment.
He doesn't even know where that hive timing is at the moment. So if he's not prepared for this, wow, actually he's teching towards Vikings right as I say that. So it seems like he does have this clock in his
Moving
head.
into the 4th base location with some of his mech and doing quite a good job at that. He's going to crush it, but I don't know. HW's kind of hesitant to move out his Roach Force and engage that head on.
Yep. Loses the 4th, but that is okay.
Yeah, his opponent's on 4 bases. He's reestablishing it up at the top. Seems like, well, if it fails at the bottom,
HCW could totally just take him out right now. Nope. Instead, double expand.
He needs to get Broodlords out and just make sure he does not overextend them at this point. It's tense.
So just something I want to show you right now. Check out Elitelegend's bank. He's got so many minerals, but so few gas. Yeah, that's what happens when you mech, and especially since he took that 1 gas 3rd, but he's taken his 4th. It's 2 gases, so he should.
Chatting on another starport, and he's getting his ship weapons, so definitely predicting brood wards. He knows that the corruptors are out, and he's making a strong push out here. He needs to be extremely careful with those siege tanks.
And HCW is going to attack right at siege tanks finish, or siege up. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Those roaches got shredded, though. All I see is just fire and roach ashes here. So that looks very good for Elite Legend. His supplies rather significantly ahead. HCW can only make lings at this point. This is looking good.
Yeah, where are those corruptors? He can actually morph broodlords right now, but I don't know why he's stalling. But instead,
that could
Elite
cost
Legend's
him dearly. Wow,
Oh.
very nicely done from Elite Legend. That roach engagement point just was not the best.
But
Someone's
HCW
getting
gets a nice surround on all these units. And
It's going to get them, but look at the supplies and look at the base number. HCW just establishing his 5th base. I didn't really notice the one out in the open, but Elite Legend is just mining strong. He has a lot of orbitals, and he has the kind of tech to deal with brood wards. It looks like HCW going straight to Ultra Cavern, and he's trying to deal with these landed Vikings.
and these Vikings are so annoying, and they're gonna float up and get shot at by corruptors and that spore crawler. But
Must suck to be a Viking. You're on the ground trying to fend off against a swarm of lings, and then you figure, okay, I'll get in the air and get out of here, and then there's corruptors waiting for you.
too bad they don't burrow. No, I'm just kidding.
So I don't know why HCW decided to skip Brood Wars. I guess because he figured Elite Legend had the counter tech to it. So he's getting 2 of them now, but with that Ultra Cavern and his 3 ground armor researching, he's in a good position to catch Elite Legend off guard, who's favoring Thor because he doesn't want to have something that can hit air.
Yeah, I'm also surprised HCW hasn't made a single infestor yet.
Yeah, you're
that would
right about that one.
really help with any engagement right now. And I understand the Ultraless switch, but still against mech, it is mech after all. Small little drop by Elite Legend
even give it
in
a
the
shot.
main. Oh geez, these.
Oh yeah, I see that drop. That's a.
Hellions get caught in the broodlings, and they don't do much damage at all.
I mean, a nice try from Elite Legend. He's just trying to. He doesn't want this to be too stagnant. You know, a nice effort. But 9 infestors. Speaking of the devil, on the way. 11 with 2 more.
Sounds good.
Guys, I'm not comfortable with Elite Legend's worker count.
Yeah, it's 100.
It's 107.
Wow. I don't know if he's finding to counter those ultras with these SCPs.
So he's learning from Jenny. Jenny made 120 SCVs one game, and then SCV attacked.
107. No wonder his population's always been so high, and he loses his entire army, and it's still at 160. And then
you know what's really gross? Each SCV can make a command center right now, turn it into an orbital command. He can sacrifice all those SCVs and still be on fine economy. That's so scary.
Yeah, with 7k minerals banked, I mean, it's looking. It's just one of those crazy TVZs that you'll see in any sort of a remarkable series. Oh, we do have a bit of an engage here with SCPs just being sacrificed.
Yep.
Dealing a ton of
minerals
damage.
now. He can make 20 orbital commands.
Yep. Good for him to kill off some of those workers. He's still at 85 though. I mean, that's quite a
That's still disgusting. As the Zerg player, you have to cringe if you are that far behind in Harvesters. HCW's only on 56.
He's getting Neural Parasite and Burrow, so I'm liking where this one's going.
Yeah, but I honestly don't think he's in a position right now. I mean, unless
to kind
Elite
of
Legend,
up with that.
unless Elite Legend just like somehow move commands or circles around HCW's army, I don't think HCW can win this.
Well, I mean, if he gets a good fungal off on the Vikings, that could be game-changing, and they are rather bunched up. The fungals, I don't see
But the fungals are not hitting. He's actually throwing infested Terrans, and those broodlords will fall easily.
But he has the ultras to fall back on if he's able to survive this battle, and it looks like he's going to be able to survive it. A lot of infestors vulnerable, though.
Yep, landing the Vikings again, because Elite Legend is a boss, and he can just do that. This army will get stopped. But
we've virtually seen everything except battle cruisers, ravens, and ultras at this point in this game so far.
Yep.
And hydras, but we can kind of cross hydras off the list because who wants to use hydras in CVT?
Hey man, heart of the swarm, man, heart of the swarm.
Of course.
So yeah, this
Blue
push,
Flame from Elite Legend only now. I think that is one mistake he made. A little bit delayed on his Blue Flame.
well, the fact that 3 Hellions are shooting at you without Blue Flame is still pretty scary.
We do have our chitness plating here for the Ultras of HDW, and he's getting 1, and that's a start. Doesn't really have the minerals to build anymore. And it looks like Elite Legend's going to kill that exposed 3rd or 4th base, whatever you want to call it, with a Banshee, unless the Sport Crawl is able to land in time. It's going to be a pretty epic hatchery race here between the Banshee and the Sport Crawler. But I mean, Elite Legend could just move that Banshee and still snipe the hatchery. Will he be able to do it?
Oh, yes, he will.
5 health.
Just at a range.
Next done. I think he's going to be able to pull it off. Wow, that you can put your Sport Crawler down. I'm just gonna move over a few feet and still take your hatch out. So I mean, looking into the next 5 or 10 minutes of this game, should it last that long, it's looking good for Elite Legend. I mean, these Ultras may not be able to stack up to Elite Legend's 3 tanks,
But I think the one advantage that HCW could gain is that look how many Vikings are made right now. He's got
that is true.
Almost.
But
15?
he just revealed his an Ultra, and Elite Legend now knows exactly what to produce.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one poor infestor just getting shredded by a tank shot. He was standing a little bit too close to for comfort, and there's Elite Legend's Vikings just slaughtering that.
Oh, these burrowed infestors. Burrowed infestors.
Oh man, the swarm is coming.
They grab those tanks, and it's gonna be really scary. Here's all those infested Terrans.
3 tanks, and they're 3-3ing each other to death there with those infested Terrans. Getting a lot of the infested...
Oh, jeez. But still, really nice position. He has to go all the way around just to attack those tanks. And
yeah, those Ultras getting clumped up and just shredded. Despite the brilliant innovation there from HDW using those infested Terrans, it's still looking lovely for Elite Legend in this engage.
Oh, here we go. These tanks are actually going to get cleaned up by infested Terrans, Ultralists, and Roaches.
So look at Elite Legend has... I can't even count how many orbital commands he has on the map right now. So his bank is 6 minerals.
I don't want to count how many orbital commands going on right now, but attack at the top by HCW, all these mules, these SCVs are going to die, but at this point, he should be attacking those command centers and doing exactly that.
Yeah, but he's now put himself in a difficult position because Elite Legend is able to corner him here and just take out likely these 2 Ultras. He's going to get them.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. He's got to pull him back.
Siege takes 65 damage with his armored.
Yeah,
At that point in the game, even the 5 plating the Ultras just will not stand up to that. And HCW grabbing 3 Corruptors and probably going to go back into Brood Lords.
Sieging up on the bottom of the map is Elite Legend. He's going to try and stop this mining.
Yeah, I noticed that with the siege tanks. A little bit of a siege, right?
And this is an insane game. 31-minute mark just passed, and
I figure as the longer this game goes on, the better it's starting to look for Elite Legend. HCW's bank is past 1k minerals, but Elite Legends is past 5k, and it just seems to me as though his production, he's got 3 Hellions, 1 Viking, 1 tank, now adding on a few more Hellions, and of course a command center every few minutes, but
yeah.
It's still close. I won't count HDW out this one quite yet, because I think it really comes down to whether or not he's able to land a good fungal. He doesn't have very many infestors on the field. He does have 10. I didn't notice them. They're kind of
I think
road, but
I think
it might come down to those fungals.
Oh, what's kept HCW in this game? Oh, bottom right, a bunch of infestors are going to go down.
Look at the mules. Doesn't really matter. Elite Legend, they cost them energy and nothing more, but still, that'll be a little bit of a nuisance.
That's going to stop mining there, and actually, could it take out this orbital command? No, because these infested Terrans are just standing there.
Oh,
a little bit sloppy there.
Cringe.
Yeah, a little bit.
That Shark's kind of swimming around the infested Terrans. He wants a meal, and
yeah.
There's a bit of an engage with Elite Legend, and
not sieged up yet, so these Hellions are just gonna go for free.
Corruptors and Brood Lords did get shredded there, though. So I mean, Elite Legend's already established air dominance. And one little tactic that HDW has yet to go for, that I've seen some high-level Zergs opt for, is to get his missile attacks so that his infested Terrans do more damage.
Oh no, here we go. That top base is gonna
stay burrow there. all those orbitals from Elite Legend, he can scan.
Oh, that tank line literally is a line. Man.
For once, it's actually a uniform tank line. There's Elitelegend scanning for the Burrowed Infestors. Why? I don't understand why HGW's gone purely for Infested Terrans and no Fungals, though. Yeah, I haven't seen one Fungal from him all game.
I actually don't know.
I mean, I understand to disrupt the tank lines, but, I mean, get one or two get a nice chain Fungal on the Vikings, and you can turn the game around. But, I mean, if we look at the mineral bank of Elitelegend, it's never dipped below 6,000 in the past 50 minutes, so.
And I think that's what's gonna end this game right now.
There's a Fungal on those Hellions for once. Right at the big...
Oh, but he leaves a Hellion alive.
3 health Hellion.
Quite merciful. Quite mercifully.
Look at those Vikings. Such a prime. I want to almost intervene and fungal them myself. Just press F. Like, too bad I can't.
No! He burrows Ultralisk just so they can get shot down.
Too bad they don't have the now removed Ultralisk burrow charge. That would be pretty useful at this point.
They take forever to unburrow, so actually that was not good. He's also got a push on the bottom, so this base is gonna get stopped.
Yeah, if we look at the amount of mining bases HGW has, virtually none at this point. Only that top left one, which is at 140 health. Elitelegend just scans and he knows this, so he can literally run in with his many 100 SCVs and snipe it. He's got 58 at this point, though.
59 or 55k minerals to 100 in favor of our Terran.
It's been a real slugfest here, but I've got to say, HGW just a little bit indecisive in the late game, kind of shifting between Ultras and Broodlords and not getting a critical number of either. And Elitelegend just countering it time and time again without relent. Never slipped up.
Big push at the top here for Elitelegend.
With SCVs, of course, he does bring them in, and they are going to get the command center.
The SCVs kill the hatchery.
Oh, yeah, I said command center, but I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. It's been so long. Command center and hatchery, they're the same thing. So many of them have died.
So many good hatcheries and command centers have died today.
Yeah, this is going to be a very
big fungal.
Wow, that's a nice one on a lot of Hellions there.
That was beautiful.
Doesn't chain it though. He could have landed another possibly.
Yeah, he actually could have before that scan went down. Oh my gosh, this pesky infestor.
There's a Raven on the field, so we're just battle cruisers. We have not seen, and that from our Terran and Ghosts, but that's 2 units out of all his entire arsenal. He's brought everything up.
It's a battle for the high ground now. Elitelegend's gonna move up.
I think he's maintained air dominance with that Viking fleet. He has Raven there. Is the Seeker missile upgrade removed in Wings of Liberty, or is that in Heart of the Swarm where it's no longer?
I think it's out of here too.
Yeah, you're right. I can see Seeker missile and it's available. So that's gonna play out to Elitelegend's advantage.
Oh, Elitelegend's just gonna go straight into the main, and are we gonna have a base trade?
I would not want to trade with somebody with that many CCs at this point in the game.
Oh, jeez.
He has a meager 4 Corruptors, and his opponent can just lift off and sayonara.
Yep, but this is where we're at in this point of the game. HGW needs to attack these bases. Those queens strolling just casually across the map, whereas this huge mech army is just destroying everything in sight. Gonna go into the main and take out all that tech.
Yeah, this is HGW supply under 100. Wow, this has been quite the exciting TVZ matchup. I mean,
oh geez, some tanks were actually left behind and they're shelling on these ultras. So actually, this game might even end before the bases are destroyed. Nope, never mind.
Yeah, a lot of transfuses there from the extremely slow queens, keeping the ultras in fighting form, but HGW has none of his tech left, and if we look at the map, it's all green at this point. There's
all he has to do is attack the bottom side of the map, and Elitelegend wins this.
I love it.
I'm in the top left, just chilling.
I'm in heaven. I'm watching all these command centers blow up, and I'm watching the shrapnel just take off. It's awesome.
Oh yeah? Okay, I'm gonna watch that and
It's gonna be a ton of metal in the ocean of Abyssal.
This is...
Oh no, the lift. And queens have no missile attack, so it's gonna take forever for them to get destroyed.
Yeah, and Elitelegend attacking the bottom part of the map, and it looks very, very good for him at this point.
You know what's scary? If he loses this army, he still has a pretty big one outside of his natural waiting for him. So,
yeah.
We're just waiting for HCW's GG so we can move on to game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, he put up a good fight. I think his early and mid-game phases were much better than he was as it went on. Elitelegend he did not tire in the least. He did not slip up. He didn't give HCW any sort of an out. And there's the GG from our Zergler.
Yeah,